Millinote.
2 months of pre-pro.
Holy crap. We got a storyboard, a mood board, color board, concepts, logistics, lighting, location scouting, all kinds of shit. And really, we just kind of want to run through here from conception to really where we're at right now. Really, the key takeaways here that I believe were, we used shot deck and like frame set or one of those.
Shot deck, frame set, and I think there's some eye candy stuff in here.
Right, to kind of just piece together our vision. We know we wanted to break the storyboard up into multiple scenes. So like for instance here, we have an opening scene, passage of time. We repeat those morning scenes from the opening. We go to the running scenes, some comedic relief in this gas station, boxing scenes, and then we close it out. Obviously, we're like, okay, these are dope visuals, but what's the point? You kind of explain the point. You when we were on the call yesterday, you made it sound a lot better than I did. You were like, this is the message, and they're like, oh. They were like, oh, like, you know?
Yeah, so the whole like premise of this concept is a boxer who finds his way or his passion through his entire world's like crashing around him. So like wife's terrible, job's terrible, just basically his day-to-day is just a hot mess. And the only time he finds solace, I think is what I said, and they were like, oh,
yeah, like, oh, solace,
is in the moments of him like training.
Right.
And I wanted, when you came to me with this idea of boxing, I was like, let's make like a juxtaposed version of like, because a lot of fitness stuff is like, you can be better and motivation and uplifting.
Right.
And I wanted this to be kind of dark.
Yep.
And so we played around with some stuff. You threw out the name Hands, which we ended up going with, we liked. And, and I was like, let's have the whole concept be life fucking sucks. Just throw hands at it.
Just throw hands.
And so from there, we kind of built this entire story. So like this specific man comes from the very beginning when he's getting screamed at by his wife. He hates everything. He hates his life. He's even finding it hard to like go boxing.
Right.
He's getting his ass kicked. He's getting beat up.
Right.
But in the reps of everything we do in life, we find momentum.
Right.
We build. We get better.
Right.
And in that, he's finding solace outside of how shitty everything is. And life is like that. Like a lot of times, life kind of sucks.
No, for sure.
And we have to find those specific outlets and passions that like makes life beautiful.
And so with any story, if done correctly, the whole point is it gives off a message that can be used with anything.
Yes.
Right. And that's kind of the idea here, right? And you were able to confine it into one like saying. And you were like, life sucks, throw hands at it. Whether that's, again, a job, a relationship, whatever the hell you want to do, you got to throw hands at it. So there's much, as most stories are, it's a much bigger meaning than what just a guy that likes to box.
The brief synopsis is I basically wanted to juxtapose from like your typical hype video, like, I fight to win. I'm like, this motivational piece. This is more of like his entire life sucks, his existence sucks. But like he finds solace in boxing. The only thing that brings him peace and makes him feel alive is boxing, because his entire world is crumbling around him, which can be life in itself. Like we have passions that keep us like our drive, and then like everything's falling around us, but somehow we stay focused and locked into like one specific thing that brings us joy. And like he's learning through the steps in his shitty life that boxing brings him value.
And we were able to describe his shitty life through riding on the bus, his wife yelling at him. Through time, his life sucks, right? Yeah. And then it goes to him working out, and that's where it can pick up via, color and light and stuff. It can pick up into like happiness.
Like, this whole kitchen thing, basically his wife's gonna be fucking screaming at him. Like he sits down, she's bitching, like you don't take out the trash, you're not a real man, you don't take care of the home. And at first he's just like, he takes it, he's eating, he takes it. And then our second passage of time in the kitchen, he's a little more like, what the fuck ever. She's like screaming in his ear, like whatever. He's building this not give a fuck internal like not give a fuck energy through boxing and through exercise, and that's where it's like. So we have the first kitchen scene, then a little POV shots. We have the story cam, so we have like bus, all that, and then we come back to the kitchen and bedroom scene, but now he's a little more alive, and then we go into this like running Creed montage, right, where he's boxing, he's running, and then we have our. So the music's gonna be rising. It's like gonna be like, oh yeah, he's growing. Boom, gas station. Me and Cameron, what the fuck happened to your face? Like we're gonna take everybody away from the piece and be like, whoa, like that was jarring. and then he's gonna go back into his final boxing montage at the gym. So that's kind of the whole piece.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so, you know, after we got that pretty solidified, now we're like, okay, us as filmmakers, you know, how do we put this visually? How do we visually tell this story? And that's when we use the tools and tricks, like, you know, we have this opening sequence, obviously, and then through a bunch of, with the snorri cam, with you know, all these match cuts, going through time, progressing time, letting the viewers understand that he sucks. He's going through his motions. He's going through his daily life with this grim look on his face, with bruises and cuts, and he doesn't like it. And you know, that's, you know, using these tools, that's how we achieve that.
And it's fascinating where we get inspiration, because like the whole passage of time thing came to me through the movie Nobody.
Yeah,
he's like, keys, dude, and his life sucked. His fucking, and
we got a lot of the screen grabs from there.
So like, a passage of time kind of came to me with the snorri cam thing, and then we're like, well, how can we make that our own with match cuts? And so we brought in the snorri cam, and we're like, okay, let's match cut that, or shadow boxing into boxing, like just making the transitions a lot smoother. So yeah, that's how we came up with the passage of time thing. And then obviously you pull a lot of Creed frames, because Creed is just amazing in boxing.
Right.
And we got the comedic relief kind of idea again from inspiration from another creator, Danny Gewirtz on YouTube, where he does that a lot. He'll have this very big build up, and then he just lets you down for no reason in some like weird comedic way, and then it like goes back into the build up.
100%. And I'm guessing by the time they watch this, it's already going to be made, obviously. And we wanted to make cameos, and so we thought that'd be funny, you know.
Yeah, you had a great idea. You're like, are we gonna do cameos? I'm like,
it'd be a perfect spot.
Yeah, like,
it'd be a perfect spot in the comedic relief part.
Yep.
You know, this is all serious, but to have that little comedic relief was actually pretty cool.
Bro, what the fuck happened to your face?
Yeah, bro, holy shit. What happened to your face? And kind of, you know, to dive a little deeper in like how we wanted to convey this message was, you know, there's multiple ways to do it, right? Through lights and color really are the main ones.
Yes.
And the color schemes we wanted to go for was, you know, obviously we're going to be filming this a lot at like blue hour, but as the film progresses, it gets warmer, right? And less cool and dark. You know, when it goes from the beginning, he's waking up, you'll see it's a lot cooler. And then when it gets toward the end and he's actually boxing and training in his happy place, it's a lot warmer. It's a lot more comfortable to the viewer, which is important.
Yeah, I think it's, I think we did that really well here with like, showing passage of time, obviously through movement and frames, but also like you'll notice on our passage of time, color
shifts,
the acting. We're gonna try to have the emotion shift.
Correct.
The music, sound effects, all that plays a huge role in just like keeping the piece moving.
Exactly, and then that's really the kind of the big thing is when you watch films and what makes them so good and what makes you attracted to the story and how it progresses and how you feel is done by really fundamental things. Right, you got sound, lights, color, composition, all these things, acting, of course, that will make or break, is you have to understand these fundamental tools to convey that message, right? Those are the tools that we have.
We definitely went in 3 different ways with the color, the movements, and overall just like...
Right, because we're gonna have a lot of, you know, like we think about it, you know, emotion can be perceived through the stuff that I mentioned, but also through camera movements, obviously, right? We have a lot of locked off shots. Like we are planning every exact detail, right? You know, we want this to be a locked off shot, we want it to be colder, we want it to be framed a certain way. You know, we have locked off shots, gimbal shots, a lot of handheld, right? Also, focal length. We got diopters, right? To be able to get really close up. So like he's thinking a certain way, you know, when it's really macro on his face, right? Just things like that.
And like obviously boxing and stuff, you know, when we move into the more warmer tones, you're gonna get more like really cool chaotic movements because boxing is very like energetic and chaotic, but we will still have like some cool locked off shots.
100%.
And the thing that makes this too, that a lot of people like just throwing photos into a board and writing scripts and like, cool, we're done. But the thing that makes this thing even better is like, we thought about color. We thought about how to match cut it already before we're even in post. We thought about sound design. we thought about getting actors and creating dialogue. Initially, I was like, do we really want dialogue? And you
Right.
push for it. And I'm like, okay, this
Right.
will actually help.
Right.
And
Just taking that extra step, pushing for that dialogue really gets you immersed.
Dude, this is basic fucking shit. Why can't you get your shit together? You're always at the gym, you're always doing your little boxing shit, and you're never doing anything around the house. It's really basic shit that I'm asking of you.
And the fact that we went out and hired a makeup person, like, I don't think people understand like set design and
Producing.
having an Airbnb and having like beautiful locations, like
Dude.
renting the gym. Like these things make or break an actual
Dude,
piece.
you renting gear,
Yeah.
lenses. We have the Airbnb for the house scenes, a freaking high school locker room that's supposed to emulate the boxing gym locker room. We also have the boxing gym.
Yep.
Thankfully, we don't have to freaking have permits to go down the street.
I know.
That would
I went
fit our
scout
budget.
locating for like 2 hours with CK.
Yep.
To find the perfect locations. And as detailed and oriented as this is when we get outside, it's gonna be like, oh fuck, we gotta move.
Absolute,
we gotta move.
it's absolute chaos already.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, we got the Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
Which, shout out to Demetrius for the hookup and his friend. But we were upstairs where we couldn't pump any light into the windows. It would have been like 20 feet up trying to pump light in.
it's an Airbnb with a second and first floor, both separate units, and we were going to this. The guy owns the whole house. We were up in the second one, and we're like, okay, we're filming our blue hour scenes at pitch black night, so we need to push light in somewhere, and C-stands aren't 100 feet tall, so we're like, hey man, like, can we get the downstairs one? And thankfully,
Cost a little more money, but
right, thankfully we hustled with him a little bit, and we got it, but we're down here, which is great. So it's just, no matter how, we planned for
2 months.
more than 60 days
Yeah.
for 4 minutes
Yeah.
of film. Well, probably over an hour of footage, I'm sure.
Yes.
God, probably more than that. But for 4 minutes. So just to put that into perspective, right? And we did all that, and we're already running into trouble. And it happens.
Bro, when it rains, you just waterproof it with a garbage bag. Because we ain't stopping. We're on a roll. We're not stopping.
And I think, I just wanted to touch on this real quick. What we talked about earlier is like, one big thing that's good for people in our field to have is problem solving. Now, obviously, that's all facets of life, but man, if you could be the best literally the best planner in the world. Like, you could be number one in the world at planning. Your Milanote is beautiful. You have all these meetings with all the, everyone on set. And then you get there and it starts going to shit. And then if you don't know how to solve that problem, you're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I encourage people to do a lot of things and learn from them, because if you don't know how to problem solve and you have a type A personality, this is going to be a horrid position for you to be in.
Yes.
You're going to stress and pull hair out of your head constantly in this field.
Yep.
And it's already happened to us, and we haven't even started shooting. Like, the location already fucked us.
Yeah, literally, already screwed us.
Yeah.
But it all pays off when you hit that export button and you
100%.
are about to watch it.
So yeah, that was a part of the logistics, coming up with the color combinations, the picking the music, even down to he's already got the trailer music.
Trailer's the best part, bro.
And yeah, so I mean, it's been a process. I think initially our budget was $500.
Our budget initially was $500, and we're about what, two?
We're at $2,000 right now.
Are we?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we're probably gonna be like $2,200, I think, probably, because I added an extra 100.
Well, probably more than that, because we're gonna buy everyone lunch.
Yep.
So anyway, if you're watching this, if you make a budget, you will go over it.
100%.
I promise you. You will go
100%.
over it. But it's not about the money, guys.
It's about the portfolio.
Exactly. And this is the biggest portfolio piece I've ever made.
I mean, that's why I'm not too mad about it, because I watched Danny Gevert's beat behind the scenes. He's like, we shot this for $4,000. I was like, bro, that's a lot of money
That's a lot of money
a free
for that
portfolio piece.
Yeah.
But what
he also-
comes from it maybe is
Right.
so massive. I mean, he made 4 YouTube videos, which we're trying to here
And
you
they
are.
had less. I mean, ours would be that much if we hired that much crew.
True.
He had a full sound mixer.
Well, I personally got lucky because 90% of the crew coming in is free.
90% of the crew coming in.
Thank y'all.
Everyone just loves Ian, and they're just like, listen, we just want to be a part of Ian's greatness.
I don't know if it was like that, but I did tell you, I was like, Matt, it's really humbling to like see that maybe you are making an impact on like other creators.
Yeah.
And the fact that like, I always give back to my friends. If they need my help, I'm fucking there. So
Right.
like, it just goes to show that like what you give out, you get back.
It's funny you say that because I was having that realization the other day when I had like, we make stuff, we plan this stuff and we think it's gonna be cool, but we don't think it's gonna be like some thing,
Right.
you know, like some real thing. And then I don't have like a buttload of followers. I don't. And like, I had at least 15, 20 solid people that I know that are like, I'm stoked to see this, like all this stuff. And yeah, it's 15, 20 people, but that's 20 people. You put 20 people in a room, and they're excited to see your stuff. Like,
that's why I say when I get 1,000 views on a reel, I'm like, oh man.
1,000.
But if you put 1,000 people in a room, you're like, holy shit.
holy shit, this when people saw my reel?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that like your hard work is gonna be at least watched.
Yeah,
you know?
I've always been like, you know, when I first started, it was like money. And
Of course, it always.
But now it's like, it's always been like impact and inspiring. And it's just kind of like twofold now that we're doing this and like everybody was just so willing to help me. And I'm like, wow.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I am making a difference.
Right. And, you know, in terms of like money stuff, there's a fine balance for sure. But like, I'm going to have the most fun probably in my filmmaking career this week. And we are out thousands of dollars. So like, I mean, you know.
Jasmine and I say the same thing, bro. Our best pieces come from us just dicking off and doing free things.
Doing free things, or we're losing money this week.
Yeah,
so
we're
like,
losing money, but we're gaining
so much
more knowledge,
portfolio
portfolio
experiences, connections. I'll meet some people that are Ian's friends that I've never met before. There's a lot more to it than money. Yes, money is important. We're not going to say, hey, don't go after the money. Listen, take care of yourself. All right. Like, pay your bills, go after some bread. That's fine.
We're really blessed to be in a position where we can throw $2,000.
Where we can throw a couple grand at it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but you can do the same thing outside with natural light.
You don't need anamorphics.
Yeah.
You don't need anamorphics. You don't need a makeup artist. You know, you don't even need 2 leads. You can use 1. You can use your friend. You can use your mom. You can do something. You don't need a lot of money. Just use whatever camera you have. We obviously wanted it to be kind of next level, so we rented some lenses. I mean, we have freaking 8 lights in here. You know, we have 17,000 C-stands, and we rented out an Airbnb, a locker, a gym. Like, took it to the next level.
We had to because we're so far in our careers. Like, we needed to do. But if you're just starting out, like, just go shoot something.
Right.
Go on Milanote, create a little storyboard, shoot it, and produce it, and put it.
What I said at the former part of this conversation, which was, you know, the planning and the fundamentals and the Milanote, that costs $0.
Yes.
Right? If you
and even Milanote's free.
If you could be good at that, I promise you could make something that's great.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I love what we did here because I've never directed. I've always had Jasmine do it, and I just like sat in and helped her storyboard stuff. So like, we really created something that I've never done. So it was a learning experience for myself, and it felt good because I always said I could never write. I'm like, I suck at writing, and here I am, like concept and like boom, boom, like boom, boom. It just started rolling. And
right. And we always set high expectations for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we'll you know, think we can open Milano and just write a whole movie. And it doesn't work like that. Like, we were able to meet a couple times, brainstorm for 2 months, but since we are not that good of screenwriters and we're not that good at it, we had to take the time, right? We had to take 2 months to have meetings and figure stuff out. I'm sure some experienced person could get this done in a couple days.
Oh, Jasmine could have done this in 24 hours.
She can do it in a day, right? But we're not good at it.
No.
Jasmine, help us.
Jasmine, please.
But you know, we took our time with it, and you know, and from this, we got better at it.
Oh,
I guarantee it won't take this long next time we go to plan the next project.
No, definitely. So. It's a cool experience that I recommend doing, and I recommend meeting some random fucker on the internet and just shooting.
Dude, literally,
for no reason.
Have the balls to say, "Hey, let's shoot something."
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but I mean, if you vibe with someone and you vibe with and you vibe with their work, and you know that you can want to make cool stuff, go out on a limb, man.
Yep.
Like, travel there, have them travel here, meet up somewhere, meet up for something, start making content, make connections, man. The biggest tool that we have in our arsenal is the ability to be personable, the ability to talk to people, the ability to network with people. That's literally the biggest tool we have.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest advice we can give here.
I wouldn't even be where I am or DP anything if I've never met Jasmine, which was through Instagram. Like if I would have done Push, that short film with her, like I would have just been a freelance gym videographer.
You could be
it's freaking wild how fast your career can change just by meeting one person.
Right. Yeah, you could be the most creative filmmaker in the world, but if you don't know how to meet people or talk to people or communicate correctly, then like how are you ever going to make those relationships? Those are things that are really important, right? You can always make something that's really cool, but did you make a genuine connection with another person that's in your field?
Right.
Right.
Say yes more too, man. Like say yes more.
Right. Be a yes man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's really it. Like for
Yeah.
the most part, y'all, thanks for watching. If that's what's happening right now. If we
This is
showed you
definitely what's
this.
happening. We don't know if this is going to go live. We
Yeah.
set up a camera and
We just wanted to talk about the mill note process.
Yeah.
And, I'm gonna actually record some of us just refining to the end here, color scheme on what they're gonna wear, and just finessing things and sending out addresses. I'll record a little bit of that as B-roll. But yeah, the project cost $2,000. We went on a bunch of lenses, got a cool location.
got a couple cool locations. Met online.
And
planned it for 2 months. We said that we wanted to do it before the end of the year. We were like, we want to shoot something before the end of the year. This was 2 months ago, and picked a date and ran with it.
Yeah, man. So I'm super blessed to have you come out, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
also ready to
Make
show
some-
you guys this
Yeah,
beautiful
make
piece.
some cool shit.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching.
Peace.